Breaking news coming out that the pneumonia outbreak from China is actually now spreading globally. And I know this is not the news that anybody wanted to hear. We had the WHO that inquired about this just a couple days ago. I shared it with you. We had received word that there was an uptick, a massive spike in pneumonia cases in children in China. And a lot of people were concerned because even though they said this is pneumonia, this is not something to be concerned about, this is something we have contained. A lot of people are saying this feels like a repeat of what took place 4 years ago. And they're saying it is starting to feel more so even like that, as now we're getting word that this uptick in pneumonia cases in children is actually spreading. It has gone beyond the borders of China. Now, before I go too far, first let me know I've got 49 people on live with me. If you can hear me and see me okay in the comments, so that way I can make sure that I'm getting the information across to you well. People are saying hi. They're saying that they're here from different places. Can you hear me and see me okay in the comments? Let me know before I dive into the information. People are saying yes, okay, great. So as I mentioned, this is breaking news coming out, and just today that we received word that this uptick in cases is not just happening in China, it is now happening in other nations. People are saying this is spreading. Now, let me know your thoughts in the comments before I dive in. A lot of people are saying that we could not trust the information coming out of China. This is a repeat of what they're saying, what happened 4 years ago, that they were trying to keep things under wraps, literally called it a mysterious pneumonia case. It turned out to be what spread globally that caused lockdowns and chaos around the world. And now we're hearing again, there is a mysterious pneumonia case. This has actually been taking place since May, we've heard. They've been trying to keep it quiet. Came out last month that these cases have been on the rise. Hospitals have been delayed and full of children. They cannot see a doctor. In some hospitals, 13 hours, in some hospitals, days that they have to wait to be seen. And they said that this is just pneumonia. It's your typical outbreak that's taking place after lifting the restrictions. Now we're hearing not exactly. It's actually taking place in other countries around the nation, nearby China as well. And there's concerns that this is spreading. So let me know your thoughts. Can we trust China? If you think that we cannot, put a 1 in the comments. If you think that this is not just what they're letting on, put a 1. If you think that no, this is not something to be alarmed about, put a 2 in the comments. I'd like to see people's thoughts. I'm seeing a lot of 1s. All right, so we've got 825 people on, and do me a favor before we dive into the articles. If you appreciate the updates, do me a favor, smash the like button. Just takes a second. Want to keep people up to speed on everything going on. And if you want to stay up to speed, up to date on what's taking place, hit the subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. I'll make sure to keep you up to speed on everything. And if you want to support the channel, you can become a member. I've added a join button. You click it. And then in doing so, supporting the channel, all of these articles will pop up in your YouTube feed. And as I mentioned, these have come out in the past 24 hours. We've heard about this pneumonia outbreak in China for about a week or so now. It's been getting a lot of attention. But now we're hearing it's actually spreading into other nations, and there's concerns about what this really is. But if you do not become a member, that's totally fine. I cite all my sources anyways. They are linked in the description below of this live stream. So I'm looking at one right now that says there's a map now showing various countries where pneumonia cases are rising after the China outbreak. And the latest one coming out today is the Netherlands. Another country, the Netherlands, has now reported a concerning rise in pneumonia cases amongst their children in the nation following an outbreak of illness in China. Here's another one coming out just today. India State's Health Department is now on alert as China pneumonia cases spike in India. Vietnam asks WHO and China for more information on spikes in respiratory illnesses taking place in Vietnam. Taiwan is now on alert for mycoplasma pneumonia risk following China outbreak taking place in Taiwan. So this is now in various nations around the world. And do me a favor, please share this out. Let people know, because if we are in fact looking at, I'm seeing a lot of 1s in the comments, a case where this is not what they're letting on. And this is something that is contagious and spreading, similar to what we saw 4 years ago. Please share this out. Get the word out that this could be what we're experiencing right now. And they're saying it actually feels like deja vu repeat, because this is the exact time of year as well that this had taken place before. Now, we had heard from China. They said that, listen, this is simply regular pneumonia. We've lifted the restrictions, and now people are starting to get sick. This is typical. And they're saying this is also the mycoplasma pneumonia But other people are saying, no, this is not what it is. It's a mysterious illness that's beginning to spread. And I shared with you this a couple days ago, as I mentioned, that there was articles coming out. This one from the University of Minnesota that says undiagnosed pneumonia outbreak in China puts pressure on the pediatrics hospitals, prompting more and more questions. And people saying, what is this mysterious pneumonia outbreak in China? And again, that is what they were calling it 4 years ago. People are very concerned about this spreading mystery virus throughout China. And now India is preparing as well. So you guys, let's go ahead and take a look at some of these articles. And as I mentioned, these are in the description. Share this out to make sure that more people are aware of what's going on. And do me a favor, 1,260 people in the room. Can I get half of the room to hit the like button? It just shares it out, spreads it on the algorithm. Can I get extra 200 people that have not yet done so, that appreciate the updates, to hit the like button, get it past 600? I would appreciate it. Now, let's take a look at this first one right here that says maps showing all the countries where pneumonia cases are rising after the China outbreak. And this one says another country, the Netherlands, has reported a concerning rise in pneumonia cases among children following an outbreak in the illness in China. Many parts of China have been hit by a surprising surge in respiratory illnesses, which has particularly affected children. And as I mentioned to you, we had received word children and the elderly were getting hit. And they said, well, it sounds like your typical seasonal pneumonia, but this is spreading across other nations. And also China, we're hearing, has been trying to kind of keep this quiet. Northern provinces in China have experienced a jump in flu-like illnesses for 5 weeks straight since mid-October. Now, the fast spread of the pandemic that took place 4 years ago prompted strict public health restrictions and quarantine measures. Several nations are on the edge given China's recent uptick in respiratory illnesses. Now, the ailments, they have strained China's hospital systems. And if you've seen the photos, they are just packed. And they're saying that it literally takes days in some cases for people to see doctors. And they're saying this is in the emergency areas and are reminiscent of the outbreak that took place 4 years ago, which originated in Wuhan in December of 2019. Now, Chinese officials have since announced they believe the uptick is a combination of common illnesses like the flu and respiratory syncytial virus, which have spread easily after China recently relaxed its COVID-19 restrictions. So this is what we had heard. But now we're starting to see this in other nations. Meanwhile, the Netherlands Institute for Health Services Research has reported an uptick in pneumonia cases in their nation, particularly among children as well. So we're seeing this same type of thing happening now in other places. In the past week, 80 out of every 100,000 children between the ages of 5 and 14 have come down with a mysterious pneumonia, the Messenger has reported. Now, it is the country's largest pneumonia outbreak in several years, higher than the peak of the flu season in 2022, and 60 pneumonia cases were recorded for every 100,000 children in the same age group. So there's concerns that this is not your typical flu season, and they're saying that it's actually spreading. Now, I'm looking at the map right here and here on the list, and I named these off. I pulled reports on each of these. The Netherlands, it says the Netherlands reported an uptick in child pneumonia cases after a recent outbreak occurred in China. India has now reported an uptick in cases, but is assessing hospital preparedness at this moment. China has reported an uptick in pneumonia cases, particularly among children, each week since mid-October. Taiwan hasn't reported an uptick in pneumonia cases, but the country is taking preventative measures at this time. Okay, so Taiwan, just to clarify, they're concerned about the cases in China that are in China. It has not yet spread to Taiwan. And also Vietnam has reported an uptick in pneumonia cases, but asked the WHO and CDC for more information as well. So those are the ones that are experiencing the upticks or preparing for what is taking place. And again, this map is linked in the description below to this article from Newsweek. The Netherlands has relaxed their restrictions for quite some time, which is fueling concern that an epidemic is on the rise in China. And the concern of this is that it could spread globally. Now, the rise in cases has spurred several other countries like Taiwan, India, Vietnam to take preventative measures, such as assessing their public health system and ensuring there's a supply for personal protective equipment and medication on hand. More than 6% of hospital cases were attributed to flu-like illnesses in northern China, and steep increases over the past years, according to a report from Focus Taiwan. So again, as I mentioned, this is happening in various nations. India states this came out today. The health department is on alert as China pneumonia cases spike. And you can see the hospitals now in India with little small children entering into the hospitals. Amid the rising cases of pneumonia and white lung syndrome in neighboring China, several states in India are on alert with handling a spike in respiratory illness in their children. Here is another one. Now, this one came out today about 3 hours ago. What is the mysterious virus spreading through China and how India is preparing? India has issued a directive urging states to review their readiness and put their health infrastructure on alert. The sudden spike in respiratory illnesses across China has brought back memories of the early days of the pandemic, which has also emerged as a mysterious pneumonia. The new virus has already hit several schools in China, but the government claims that there are no unusual or novel pathogens that have been detected yet. And again, let me know your thoughts. A lot of people questioning that after what we experienced 4 years ago that spread globally. And we had heard the same thing from them before. That is why we keep hearing the words deja vu. Most of the cases have been reported in children, and the surge has sparked a rush to hospitals by anxious parents, putting top pediatric medical centers under strain. Pictures of the overcrowded hallways and children on intravenous infusions have gone viral on China's social media. So they've also had IV drips connected to children while they're in school because there are so many that are sick right now. Some parents have also called for temporary school shutdowns to prevent the spread. China's National Health Commission, the first case of an unknown pneumonia was reported on November 13th. So they said this has actually been taking place for a while, but they're just starting to report it. Who is demanding answers? And China's giving information, but people are saying, can we trust this information? Since then, there has been a spike in cases, most of them resulting in hospitalizations. Now, the situation came into the spotlight this week when WHO, the World Health Organization, asked China for more information, citing a report by the Program for Monitoring Emerging Diseases, or PROMED, on clusters of undiagnosed pneumonia in children. So just to clarify, they're saying this is undiagnosed. Now, China is saying that it is the mycoplasma, or it's something that's normal, and that it's just an uptick because they released those restrictions that they priorly had. But others are saying this seems like it's undiagnosed. It's a mystery pneumonia that they have no actual explanation for. This outbreak is said to be mainly in the capital, Beijing, but also in the northeastern Liaoning province and other areas in China. One major hospital in Beijing has reported that on average, every single day, they are seeing about 1,200 new patients enter their emergency room. Wow. Now, what are the symptoms of this? Chinese health authorities have said that the rising infections are a mix of already known viruses and are linked to the country's first full cold season after strict restrictions were lifted last December. Symptoms include fever, lung inflammation without a cough, and pulmonary nodules, lumps on the lungs that are usually the result of a past infection. No deaths have been reported at this time. Now, at a children's hospital in Beijing on Thursday, several parents told AFP their children had mycoplasma pneumonia, which is a common cause of pneumonia in children that is readily treated with antibiotics. Mycoplasma pneumonia is a bacteria that typically causes a mild infection with symptoms that are similar to the common cold. It rarely requires hospitalization, but sometimes a cough could last for weeks, and younger children with a nascent immune system are at greater risk of developing pneumonia. Now, the concern is that they're saying that this is a typical type of thing. However, they're saying that this does not necessarily align because the hospitals should not be getting filled the way they are. And now we're actually seeing this spread in other countries, in the children. It's almost like this is contagious. So they're saying, can this virus spread to India and other countries? Well, unlike what we experienced 4 years ago, mycoplasma is well known and a common germ that tends to cause fresh outbreaks every few years, and other viruses are circulating too, particularly RSV, meaning that this is likely that winter that will have countries across the world facing a variety of pathogens. India has issued a direct urging for states to review their readiness and to put health infrastructure on alert. Let's see here. So what does it say? So to ensure preparedness to tackle any complaining of respiratory issues. How safe are we from this virus? Well, the WHO has recommended that people in the affected areas follow the normal rules to avoid respiratory illness. These include isolating if symptoms emerge and getting tested or wearing masks if necessary. So let me know your thoughts on this. Some of these lining up, but some of them not lining up, because they're saying that this is very abnormal, the way that the hospitals are being jam-packed full. Information coming out from China saying this is typical and we just lifted the restrictions, but a lot of people saying this is what we heard 4 years ago. And I saw a lot of people saying that they're very concerned because is this actually what's taking place, or is China trying to cover things up? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, you guys. Now, in addition to that, I see we've got 2,097 people on. Do me a favor, if you haven't already, hit the like button. Can we get the like up over 1,000? Can I get 220 people to hit the like button that haven't already? You don't have to like the information. It just helps share this out further on YouTube and spread it out so that way people can know what's going on. I see a lot of people saying that it could just be the cold and flu season. The only thing is there's concern because there's a couple of things. First is the hospitals are being massively overwhelmed, and now it appears to be spreading to other countries. So the question is, the Netherlands have actually just been out of this for quite some time. Why is it the Netherlands is experiencing this when it's been actually India that has been locked up for quite some time, or excuse me, China that's been locked up for quite some time, and now they're experiencing this, and so is India. The Netherlands and India. So let me know your thoughts. I see somebody saying no masks. April is saying no masks. Radiation Day is saying that it's being spread by immigrants. Let me know your thoughts on this. Should we be preparing for this? Should they be stopping? We're already concerned about our borders with internal terrorism coming from sleeper cells, but now also the spread of potential pandemics. A lot of people are saying deja vu and coming from China, and we're seeing the same type of process that we saw 4 years ago now taking place right now. People are very concerned. Now, the good news is, I guess if there's some good news, is that we have not seen any people losing their lives as a result of this just quite yet that we know of. So far, they're saying that it is causing pneumonia, sickness, respiratory illness in children, which is terrible. But I guess so far, lives not being lost is a good thing. And as I mentioned, the ones that we are now receiving word on that are either getting hit with this or are making preparations at this time is the Netherlands, India, China, Taiwan, and Vietnam. And of course, the concern, as you guys know, what we saw before 4 years ago is that if it's in the Netherlands, will it spread throughout Europe? And if it spreads throughout Europe, typically what we've heard, what we saw with the pandemic 4 years ago was there was a pattern that took place. And the pattern that took place is whatever happens in Europe seemed to then hit the United States about 2 or 3 months later. It was whatever, if there was an uptick in cases or a drop in cases, we saw almost identical, exact same thing delayed in the United States about 2 or 3 months. So people right now are watching the UK, watching to see what's going to be happening, as now the Netherlands is coming out and saying this is happening to our children as well. And let me know your thoughts on this. How many people here have children and you find this concerning? And if this does spread and we start seeing the UK having spread where children are getting sick, are you going to be keeping your kids home? If you would keep your kids home, put a 3. If you can't and you have to send them to school and it's not deadly, put a 4. Let me know your thoughts. If you have kids, or maybe you don't have kids, but if you had kids, what would be your opinion on this? Try to keep them away from school, put a 3, or we've got to send them, put a 4. But there are pictures coming out. You can see it on the internet right now, all over the internet, that there are kids literally in the schools. They've got their laptops all lined up and they've all got IVs in their arms because so many are sick. The entire classes are sick and they're still doing school with the kids while this is spreading. And it's very sad to see. I mean, it's terrible to see what's going on with the sickness that we experienced before, but then to see it with the children, it's just heartbreaking. Let's see here. I see a ton of comments coming in. I see a lot of 3s, people saying, yeah, if I had kids, I would not be sending them to the schools. It's just going to further the spread. A lot of people saying that they suspect that now we're coming up on on the elections coming up here, and that there's going to be mail-ins. We'll see. That's definitely something as well. Somebody's saying, "Hey, Steve. Hey, Jesus." Yeah, if you are a praying individual, pray for our world. Pray for what's going on. Pray for China. Let's see. Looks like let's see. We don't want to experience a massive psychosis. Man, I'm not really sure. I'll keep you guys up to date on this. I reported on it a couple days ago, and we had heard that there was a spread in pneumonia cases in children. But now we're hearing that it has spread beyond the borders of China, and it is now going into other countries. They're experiencing the same thing. And again, they're saying that it does not align with the mycoplasma pneumonia that they're claiming that it is, that the information coming out of China does not align because the hospitals are being jam-packed, overfilled, and now the exact same thing is happening in the Netherlands and in India, and those ones did not just recently lift the restrictions. As a matter of fact, the Netherlands released it a while ago, so they're saying that this appears to be some sort of sickness that has not been specified, undiagnosed, that is spreading amongst the children. So we will see. Diana is on. How's it going? She says elections are coming with a question mark. Yes. So let me know your thoughts. Do you think that is what's taking place? If you think that is a thing, let me know your thoughts. Put a 5 in the comments if you think that is what it is. That there's if you believe that there's something else coming here. Put a 6 if you think no, that it's just another spread that could be happening coming out of China. Okay, I see a couple of 5s. People are saying, yeah, you know what? We've got elections coming up in the United States. This could be something that is, maybe planned or something. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm seeing Mama Sap put some 6s. Oh, actually, she put 3 6s. So I'm not sure if that's a 6 or she's trying to say something else. Empress of Royalty says it's already here. Empress, I will let you know if we get word that this is spreading the U.S., believe that I will hop on and let you guys know what is taking place here. Brent Smith saying it's nothing if you got Jesus. Amen to that. You know what? I'm a believer, and I think that, we should be prayed up. Moontoad says, sup, Steve Ram. What is up? Well, I'm just getting you guys caught up on the latest. And again, as you guys know, all of these are linked in the description. So as I mentioned, this is no longer just in China. They're saying it's in the Netherlands, India, and Taiwan and Vietnam are also preparing as well for these cases. Another outbreak is crazy, totally planned to me, says the Ori Show. The Ori, thank you for that super chat, $10. I appreciate it. You are awesome. And you know what, Ori, it sounds like you're not alone. I saw a couple other people saying that this is planned. This totally planned. They're saying that, it could be for some elections coming up. And I'm hesitant to even say that because, as you guys know, or maybe you guys don't know, I got to be very cautious about what I say and how I say it on social media platforms. I want to make sure that I'm able to give you guys the news and that I am not in any way, my words are muted. I don't want to be potentially blocked from saying things if I don't say it the right way. I hope you guys catch my drift. But yeah, so let me know your thoughts. Somebody put maybe a 5, but somebody saying government shutdown, says Big Stepper. It's possible. The FBI is silencing him, says Rob. Rob, yeah, you know what? Nowadays, you just need to be very cautious about what you say and how you say it. Especially too, if I just trying to report to you guys what's going on. I try not to give too much opinion. I cite all the sources. I put them in the description so that way you guys can see it and you can make your own decisions for yourself. But yeah, if you say the wrong thing, you could be silenced. So I just want to make sure that I can still able to communicate with you guys. So I appreciate that. And again, wow, 2,300 people in the room with me. Do me a favor. If you haven't already, smash the like button. If you appreciate the updates, it helps out a ton. Can I get that over 1,200? Can I get 120 people to smash the like button that haven't already? That would help me out so much a ton. Spreading this out, that's all it does. Carolina says, this is scary. You know what, Carolina? Listen, I don't want anybody to have fear, but I want people to be prepared. I want people to be aware so that way we can know this. For example, like if this does come over to the U.S., people can know and they can be like, hey, we're going to keep our kids home for a little while. We're just going to let the school know. We're going to work it out, keep our kids safe. We're just going to make sure that we are prepared. We're not going to be fearful, but we are going to be aware of what's going on. And so this is the latest coming out. And like I said, this just came out today on the Netherlands and India. We've been hearing for about the past week or so that this is spreading all in China, but now it's just, it is just starting to spread out more. Let's see here. Somebody's saying, who knows? Somebody's saying they're not happy with Joe Biden, says Speedy Rider. Colby is saying it's already here. You know, Colby, like a couple months ago, I don't know if you guys remember, I was sick for quite a while as well. And like, feel like I haven't fully recovered from it. I think I caught the latest variant of what we've been experiencing the past 4 years. But it just like, I couldn't kick the cough. And a lot of people, I was losing my voice and stuff, people giving me recommendations. I didn't know I had it, but then sure enough, somebody else caught what I had and then they lost their taste. So it's still going around. Let's see here. There's any other questions or responses? People are saying to take medications. Somebody's saying it could be germ warfare. You know, there's been a lot of people saying that World War III is not coming. It's already here as well. That a lot of this stuff that's happening, the cyber attacks, the diseases spreading around, that it's actually all a part of warfare that's taking place. Somebody says, Time of Truth says that their friend has been sick for a month now. Yeah, it just seems like it's something you can't kick. Let's see here. Denise, God Overall says, time to watch and pray. Amen. You know, pray for our world, pray for our health, pray for all the people that are hurting financially since everything that's taken on. You know, what is going on? There's just so much in our world. Pray for the global conflicts that are taking place. Maria Carey says this is a different type of war. Yeah, this is not just coming out and, you know, physical war. There's a whole lot more to what's going on. It's pretty intense. Diana's saying, watch what you say. And yet we live in the United States. No problem here, right? Yeah, Diana, you know, it's true. It's true. You know, just be wise. You know what I'm saying? You have to be aware of what's going on, and I have to be wise. And I want to share with you guys the latest, but I also need to be very careful about how I do things. You shared to report lots of doom and gloom. Yeah, Connie, you know what? I'm happy to share with you any good news that comes out. It just seems like right now we're just getting hit left and right with all kinds of stuff that is just very concerning. And, you know, like I said, I don't want anybody to live in fear or be afraid, but I do want people to be aware and be prepared. So that is why I give the latest updates on what's going on. For example, like a lot of the internal stuff that the FBI warned about with the sleeper cells and potential, you know, cyber attacks against our infrastructure. Not sure if you guys heard as well, but since Thanksgiving, there have been 3 cyber attacks. I'm going to do a separate video on this as well, against hospitals, shutting down their connections, and they've actually had to reroute. They had to reroute ambulances to other hospitals because connections and things went down in hospitals. There's been 3 in 3 different states, one of them here in Texas. So, you know, it's just, there's a lot going on. And also, too, I let you guys know about the cyber attack that hit Pennsylvania. They took down a water system. There was a cyber group that took over the water system, were shutting it down. And like, luckily, they were able to cut them off and stop it. But they actually took control of the water system. Luckily, nobody was impacted or affected, but there was a cyber attack against a water system in Pennsylvania. So there's a lot going on right now, but I think that it is very good for us to know exactly what's taking place. So that way we can be aware, we can prepare for ourselves and for our families just in case. But hopefully we do not experience the worst. We just are able to avoid a lot of the stuff that they're saying could come to fruition. Thank you for being so real with us and reporting. You're the best, says Arthur. Appreciate the kind words, Arthur. Thank you. I hope that the information is helpful. Let's see here. It's like the world I grew up in. We didn't know everything instantly, says Amy Moore. Or I think she's saying it's not like the world we lived in. Yeah, before. Yeah, now with social media and technology and all the internet, we learn about everything instantly, and we can see all of the chaos and craziness that's going on. Just to know that in the past, since Thanksgiving, there have been 3 cyber attacks against hospitals here in the United States. Absolutely incredible. Seedman is saying that my screen is black. Can you guys see me okay? Seedman, you might want to check your connection. Please let me know if you can see me okay in the comments, if you still can see me and hear me okay. If you're having trouble with the connect, okay, Lackey's saying yes. Circle Wagon saying, I see you, you're good. Yes, okay, awesome. Okay, great. Yeah, check your connection. If you can't see me, it looks like the vast majority of viewers can see me okay. And again, for those of you that are hopping on, I see we've now got 2,600 people in the room. Do me a favor, smash the like button, share this out so people can hear. And just to recap what we're talking about for you guys, we have now heard that the outbreak that is taking place with the pneumonia cases in China, the mysterious pneumonia cases, is no longer just in China, and is not aligning with what we're receiving reports on. They're now saying that it has spread to other nations. Those nations include the Netherlands and India, and now also Taiwan and Vietnam are on high alert, and they are preparing their hospitals as there are massive upticks in cases in children for a mysterious pneumonia, and the hospitals are being flooded with kids. And again, all of these are linked in the description below for you, so that way you can see each and every one of these for yourself. And I misspoke on Taiwan. Taiwan, they said they have not seen an uptick, but they're preparing their hospitals for what they believe is coming. And there's a lot of concern. Watch the UK. If you're in the United States, they're saying watch the UK, because whatever happens in the UK in regards to the pandemic, what we saw with what we've had the last 4 years, it then about a couple months later usually hits the United States. So we will be watching it. Believe I'll be watching them, and I'll make sure you guys to report any updates for you. And I see a lot of people claiming that it's already here in the U.S. And I know that there have been a lot of people that have been sick with, like it seems like new variants, and they just can't kick it. I know that that's been my case for just the past couple of months. But whatever unfolds, I'll keep you guys up to date on everything. Somebody's saying to make sure that you keep your lungs healthy. Yes, I would highly recommend it. Do whatever you can to keep yourself healthy as these are spreading. And also, as I mentioned, these are focusing on children. So please make sure that you do whatever you can to keep an eye on your kids from getting sick. And like I said, this is just coming out today. The stuff on China, I reported this to you 4 days ago. But now about the spread of what's taking place, this is just coming out today. So like I said, as more comes out, I'll be sure to let you guys know. And like I said, we've also had cyber attacks going on, and there's been a lot taking place. But I'll keep you guys up to speed on everything as it rolls out. So again, thank you guys so much for joining me. Wow, we've got 2,700 people in the room with me. If you appreciate the updates, don't forget to smash the like button. Share this out. If this is your first time here, hit subscribe to stay up to date. And I will let you guys know everything that's happening. And like I said, these are all linked in the description below. I cite all the sources for you, so that way you know it's the latest. You can read exactly what it is that I'm reporting to you guys. But you guys, thank you so much for joining me. I'll catch you in the next video. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.